Я собираюсь его контролировать, заставлять его устать, навязывать свой стиль боя. А так просто... Почему Хабиб так говорит? Потому что это для нас какой-то новый шаг, новый вес. Перепрыгивать. Ну, мы так не делали раньше, чтобы с нижнего веса наверх перепрыгивать. Потому что по-любому уже другая подготовка, спарринг, партнеры другие. Много чего приходится менять сейчас. И это все так по ходу без... I want to be double champ. And I just waiting for my chance because, okay, I beat the Volkanovski twice. People still say you beat small guy. Yeah. He's not your weight division. If I beat Tapura, it's gonna be same. Everybody gonna talk same. But if I go up, takes a second belt, this is the legacy.
Двигаться, двигаться, двигаться.
Islam Makhachev has issued a brutal warning to Jack Della Maddalena ahead of their potential clash. Makhachev stated that aside from signing the official contracts, all verbal agreements for his fight with Della Maddalena had already been settled. He believes the official announcement will be made within a few weeks, signaling that the much-anticipated bout is imminent.
Ну, не знаю, кроме того, как контракт подписать, я думаю, уже все устные договоренности есть. Мы ждем, ну, я думаю, скоро, уже в ближайшие недели.
Islam Makhachev. Aside from signing the official contracts, all verbal agreements for my fight with Jack Della Maddalena have already been settled. I believe the official announcement will be made within a few weeks. Michael Chandler. Islam Makhachev would perform well at any weight. While moving to 170 would require some adjustment, he would settle into the division just fine. He's a dangerous fighter with strong hands and the ability to attack both the head and body. He's a tough challenge for anyone, but I still believe Islam will win at 170.
How does he do against JDM?
Islam at any weight does great. At 170 is going to be an adjustment, but Islam, he's going to settle into the 170 weight class fine. JDM is a terror, man. His hands, his ability to go head and body. It's a tough fight for anybody. I think Islam wins it at 170.
Islam Makhachev stated that the competitiveness of a potential fight with Jack Della Maddalena depends on JDM's ability to handle the weight. The lightweight champion's game plan is clear. He intends to control, tire, and dominate his opponent. Makhachev also acknowledged the significant challenge of moving up in weight, noting that it requires major changes in preparation, training, and finding new sparring partners to adapt to the size and strength difference.
Например, даже вот сейчас про Чимаева бой говорили. Если он дал бы ему поработать, то это был бы конкурентный бой. И также и у меня, и у всех. Если дать работать, например, в стойке Мандалине, он может показать хороший бой. Не секрет, я собираюсь его переводить, я собираюсь его контролировать, заставлять его устать, навязывать свой стиль боя. А так просто... Почему Хабиб так говорит? Потому что это для нас какой-то новый шаг, новый вес. Перепрыгивать. Ну, мы так не делали раньше, чтобы нижнего веса наверх перепрыгивать, потому что по-любому уже другая подготовка, спарринг, партнеры другие, много чего приходится менять сейчас. И это все так по ходу без какого-то.
Welterweight champion Leon Edwards expressed his uncertainty about a potential matchup between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. Edwards noted that Della Maddalena is both bigger and good in scrambles. When asked if Makhachev is big enough to handle him, Edwards responded that fans will simply have to wait and see.
I don't know. It's hard to. I don't know. I think JDM is good scrambling. He's a bigger guy. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Is Islam big enough? Is he going to be able to?
Let's see.
Chael Sonnen explained that a narrative had emerged suggesting the fight would be one-sided, with Islam Makhachev expected to handle Jack Della Maddalena the same way Khamzat Chimaev dominated Darren Till. Sonnen found this surprising, noting that Till had never been controlled like that before, and that Chimaev had not achieved such dominance over anyone else.
There is a narrative that came out since Saturday of last week. So just in this past week, there is a narrative that has come out that this is going to be an awful fight, and it's going to be awful because Islam will do to Jack what Chimaev did to Drikas. And that's interesting to me, considering Drikas has never had that done to him. Oh, and by the way, Chimaev's never done that to anybody else. Like it's really a surprise that all of a sudden wrestling has this resurgence because you had two guys fight and something happened that we didn't think would happen, right? Nobody thought that Chimaev could take him down at will and keep him there. Because Chimaev hasn't been able to do that to other guys. And because Drikas has never had it done to him, not for a single round, let alone for a single contest. So to come out of that, all of a sudden this light goes on and you're this big fight expert and oh my goodness, Islam has similar skills.
Chael Sonnen further questioned the narrative by asking in which fight Islam Makhachev had ever taken someone down and controlled them the way Khamzat Chimaev did to Darren Till. He pointed out that Islam only brought Charles Oliveira to the ground twice and still finished the fight in about 7.5 minutes. Sonnen wondered why wrestling was suddenly being given such prominence in this discussion, noting that Islam is not strictly a wrestler or even a jiu-jitsu specialist, but identifies with Sambo, while the broader term often used is grappling.
Well, I would have to stop you right there. In what fight has Islam ever taken somebody down and controlled them similar to the way Chimaev did to Drikas? Where have you seen that? Where? I'm trying to bring the fight to my attention. Islam didn't have a very hard time taking Charles down. With that said, they only hit the ground twice. With that said, the fight was finished, which you all swear you love so much, the finishing of a fight. You swear that you love it, and that one was finished inside about 7.5 minutes. Like, where is it that wrestling got this great resurgence? And when is it that Islam got pulled into the wrestling community? I certainly would like him there. I certainly, as a wrestler, would love to have Islam, but he's not only not wrestling, he's not even jiu-jitsu. He's not even this mythical sport that's not even real, but the terms out there called.
Former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker believes Islam Makhachev could succeed at welterweight. Whittaker noted that the 155-pound cut has been so draining for the lightweight champion, suggesting that his newfound strength at a higher weight class might carry over well to 170 pounds. He compared the situation to Ilia Topuria's move up in weight and called Islam's welterweight future the million-dollar question that no one can seem to answer.
That's the million-dollar question. That's the question everybody's asking. And that's kind of the question. It's the same situation as Topuria as well. How good is Topuria? But what's he going to look like up weight division? Same with Islam. By all reports though, the weight cut was really hard for him, like really, really hard. He's super strong for that weight division, which, you know, must translate well to moving up, making it a little bit easy cut. Maybe he gets a little bigger. It's yeah, I'm very that's the million-dollar question everybody's asking.
Robert Whittaker added that predicting Islam Makhachev's adjustment to welterweight is difficult since moving up involves many unknowns. However, he believes that Islam can do everything Belal Muhammad does, only better, suggesting that his elite skill set would translate well to a heavier weight class.
Like I said, it is hard to try to get like an accurate gauge on what it's going to look like, not knowing how Islam is going to look when he moves up. Okay, it's always the question everybody asks when anybody is moving up a weight division or down a weight division. Okay, there's so many unknowns involved. But saying that, I think that Islam can do everything that Belal does, but way better. Okay, way.
Former welterweight champion Belal Muhammad has weighed in on the potential matchup, stating that he expects Islam Makhachev to take Jack Della Maddalena down. Citing his own experience, Muhammad recalled how he had to fully commit to secure a takedown against Della Maddalena himself. Muhammad also praised Islam's team, highlighting their ability to create effective strategies and execute them precisely, which he believes will be the key to victory in this matchup.
Do you think Islam versus JDM goes down?
Honestly, I think Islam will probably take it down. Like, Islam's wrestled really good. Like, even with me, whenever I really commit to it, I took it down. Their team's so good at hacking it, get planted.
Renato Moicano believes the fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena should be considered an even matchup. While recognizing Makhachev's elite grappling skills and size advantage at lightweight, Moicano pointed out that moving to welterweight introduces entirely new challenges. He stressed that Islam would need time to gain proper size and adapt to stronger opponents, making the matchup fair and balanced, even with Makhachev's incredible skill set.
So Islam versus JDM.
I think they probably should be even, because even though Islam is a good grappler, he's big for 155. He's moving to 170. We never know, I think he needs to take some time to work on to gain weight, to gain power, to gain strength. So that's why the odds are even, and I think they should.
Veteran coach John Wood described the potential matchup between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev as a great one. He noted that Jack's experience fighting Belal Muhammad gave him insight into a similar style, with Islam performing it at a higher level. Wood said that if Jack continues improving and maintains his confidence, the fight becomes very intriguing. While he favors Jack in a striking-only matchup, he emphasized that the deciding factor will ultimately be whether Jack's takedown defense can withstand Islam's immense pressure.
I think that's a great fight. I feel like if Jack can keep building upon what he did in his, in against Belal, I mean, he's seen that style now from a champion, and it's very similar to what Islam's going to do. I think Islam does it a little bit better. So as long as Jack is improving and getting better and his confidence is there, it's very interesting. I feel like on the feet, I think Jack's got him on the feet. It's just that obviously if that takedown defense can hold up, that's the thing with Islam, obviously.
From his first-hand experience fighting Islam Makhachev, Dustin Poirier offered a sharp analysis of the potential fight with Jack Della Maddalena. The fight depends on the early moments, Poirier said. If Islam lands takedowns, he wins. If Jack defends them, his striking and size take over. Poirier added that while Islam's striking may seem awkward, opponents are so focused on the constant threat of a takedown that it allows him to land punches they are not expecting.
Do you think he beats Jack Della Maddalena?
I think we'll find out first, second round how much trouble he has getting him down. I think if he gets those takedowns, he's gonna get the win. If Jack can stop those takedowns, which he does have good takedown defense, I think the boxing and the size could wear on Islam and give him some problems. But his striking's, awkward and different. You have to worry so much about the takedown. You can't plant your feet and throw off those number combinations and really rip and sit on your punches because he's going to change levels. So it changes the way you fight. Well, for me, it did. I'm speaking from experience. So we'll see how Jack approaches and how Jack executes out there. But if you're worried about takedowns, your shots are different. You're not sitting on everything and standing in front of the guy. You're trying to move and be light on your feet. I think the first 2 rounds will tell us how this fight.
UFC veteran Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has warned about the potential size issues Islam Makhachev could face at welterweight. He noted that while Islam's grappling remains elite, many fighters in the 170-pound division are much heavier. Thompson pointed to Jack Della Maddalena's recent victory over Belal Muhammad for the welterweight title as a sign of how close the fight could be, highlighting JDM's ability to overcome a fighter with a similar style to Makhachev and his own formidable grappling skills.
I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam Makhachev walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, over 205, 210 to 215. Some of the guys that I faced would walk around at that weight. I think the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JD might be a little taller, but when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division, Bilal being one of them, I think it's going to be a tough night for him. I would like to see Islam fight Topuria. That's just me. I would love to see that fight happen. But if he comes up, we'll see what the UFC gets behind. And we all know you got to convince the UFC to make it happen. And you do that first by getting on Twitter, shouting it out, and get people talking about it. And that's what Islam did.
Veteran welterweight Gilbert Burns has fully backed Islam Makhachev's move up in weight, stating that due to his draining cuts to 155 pounds, he should have been at welterweight all along. While calling Islam one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, Burns admitted that Jack Della Maddalena presents a real problem. He pointed to Jack's training with elite names like Craig Jones and Alexander Volkanovski as a major factor in the upcoming fight and expects a close and difficult battle.
He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proving himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're gonna have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much in that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think, and JDM has a clear shot.
Despite the praise, Daniel Cormier issued a warning to Islam Makhachev, urging him to tighten up his wrestling before facing Jack Della Maddalena. Cormier noted how difficult it was for Islam to take down Dustin Poirier and stressed that Jack's own takedowns and defense looked elite. Cormier believes Islam must improve his control and setups to avoid problems against someone as sharp as Jack.
Islam Jack is going to be a great fight, especially seeing Jack defend takedowns in the way that he did. And Islam, he struggled a little to take down Dustin Poirier. He didn't take him down as easily as he had taken down other guys. So I think that for Makhachev, he needs to really lock in on getting that wrestling ready to fight a guy in Jack Della Maddalena who showed great takedown defense. And man, this dude's got some good boxing, especially when you're in tight with him. His hands are good.
Former champion Sean O'Malley described the potential Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena matchup as a high-level contest, but still sees a potential Islam versus Ilia Topuria bout as a bigger event. He praised Jack's recent victory against Belal Muhammad, saying it brought even more attention to a matchup with Islam. O'Malley warned that if Jack can successfully stuff takedowns and land clean shots, things could get very interesting.
Islam relinquish his belt and go up to 170. Got JDM taking on Islam Makhachev.
I still think Islam's skill for skill is just so high level. For him to go out there and do what he did against Belal was very impressive, made that Islam fight more interesting. If JDM can shut him down and throw those hands, but Islam's boxing is underrated. That dude is slick. His kickboxing, his timing, like he's a high level black belt in every aspect of MMA. Jack versus Islam, I think is huge. Not as big as Ilia versus Islam, but who knows? Maybe they both win and Islam comes back down to 55 and the fight's even.
Charles Oliveira views Jack Della Maddalena as a serious threat due to his calculated approach. He noted how Jack slowly broke down Gilbert Burns rather than rushing for a quick win. However, Oliveira still expects Islam Makhachev to rely on his grappling and believes the fight's outcome will depend on whether Jack can stay on his feet and keep striking.
O que você acha que ganha entre o Jack Della Maddalena e o Islam?
Maddalena, ele é um jogo muito complicado, porque ele é um cara que... Ele não vem pra te nocautear rápido, ele vem pra te finalizar, ele vem te magoando, né? Aos poucos, né? Aos poucos. É o que ele fez agora no luta contra o Bilal. Só que eu acho que o Islam vai se dar muito bem nessa categoria, né, mano? Agora vai estar muito mais forte, é um jogo que, tipo, ele gosta de agarrar e botar pra baixo. Eu acho que o Jack Maddalena fazia a mesma luta que ele fez, né? Agora contra o Bilal, batendo, movimentando, saindo, machucando, é uma luta, mas se deixar o Islam agarrar.
In the world of combat sports, few questions are as compelling as this. Can a champion's dominance translate to a new division? Throughout this video, we've heard from the most respected voices in the sport, and the answer is far from clear. From the tactical mindset of Islam Makhachev to the cautious warnings of Daniel Cormier and the confident predictions of Belal Muhammad, every opinion hinges on one unknown variable: the welterweight size and strength. Will Makhachev's elite grappling and suffocating pressure be too much for Jack Della Maddalena? Or will JDM's power and superior size be the ultimate equalizer? We're about to find out in a fight that will not only crown a new champion, but also define a legacy. What's your take? Is this the moment Islam solidifies himself as a pound-for-pound great? Or is JDM about to pull off the biggest upset of the year? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for all the latest breakdowns in the world of MMA.